things I think we overlook a little is the importance of the companionway hatch door. And this door will stop a large amount of water from coming in if you ever had a large wave come into the cockpit and potentially go down into the cabin. This is your barrier. So not losing this door is very important. What I do is I just run a sail tie through my little vent here. Pull the sail tie through the end, and with this other end I'll attach it to a secure point down in the quarter berth. In my boat, that's the setup I have, and I can easily remove the door still, put the door down in the quarter berth when I'm not using it, and when I need it back in, then this sail tie will reach, and it's thin enough that I can still close my companionway completely. If you don't have a little vent, you could just put a secure point, like an eye bolt or something, on the inside, and just have a long enough lanyard or tether so that you could remove the door, put it to where you want it. But this will completely prevent you from losing your door here. Having a small library of books on board doesn't really fall into safety, but I have some books here that are very informative. I have one that's called Aground, another one, the Yachtsman's Emergency Handbook, Piloting and Coastal Navigation. I also have the Sailing Bible and Chapman Piloting, Seamanship and Small Boat Handling. So although books don't really fall into safety, I have a lot of good information here right on the boat that's readily accessible anytime I need it. Over on the opposite settee, I have a storage compartment as well. And in here I keep items like emergency blanket. It's all first aid related stuff. I have candles, bandages, anything that I might need to help someone out that's been injured. The candles are nice to have if you ever lost all your power, you need light. I carry a first aid kit. And in that first aid kit, we all expect to find things like bandages and those sorts of things related to cuts and bruises. But not everyone carries medication. So I just carry over-the-counter Tylenol, nothing prescribed. And one of the other things I carry is something for seasickness. So I have here some ginger anti-nauseant tablets. This is about half full because it seems every time I have a race, there's someone new on board that they discover that they actually get seasick. So I have used a few of these, not myself, but for new people on board. I also carry, this is more of like a little ditch bag item, and what's in it is those creosote type bars that you just light and they instantly ignite. So I have a lighter in here, and I have all the items in here to start a fire if I ever ended up on a beach somewhere and it's wet up here in the Pacific Northwest. So I need to be able to start a fire easily. And the last item I have in here is just a battery-powered lantern. So it's always got good batteries in it. I don't use it very often, but if I ever needed to have an extra light source, I have it in here. One of the items I carry on board is a hacksaw, because if I ever had my mast fall over and or say I get rolled and my mast comes down, I have all this rigging that could be very dangerous, and it's all solid rigging, so rod rigging. So a hacksaw would be good to cut through it. It's the proper blade for cutting through that type of material. And when I store it, I actually keep the blade side inward so that it doesn't cut any other items that are in there. I've got some cords in there and some other things. So just when you have it stored, keep it like that. And just inspect that the blade's in good condition. This is a brand new blade. I've only used it a couple times on some little screws, but having one of these, you could also have some big bolt cutters or wire cutters, but I just keep a hacksaw. And one of the items I might get on the boat is actually a secondary cutting tool, which would probably be like a wire cutter of some kind that would be for heavy duty wire. Another item I have, and is usually mounted at the back of the boat on one of the railings, is my Lifebuoy light. So this bracket mounts to the railing, and this light sits in here upside down. It has a tether that is attached to the Lifebuoy, or the life ring that you saw in the previous video. And when you throw the Lifebuoy, you throw this with it, and then it's weighted so that it'll fall in the water and turn on once it's sitting upright. So if it's at nighttime, you will be able to see the person much easier with this floating. It'll just be on a tether here, floating near the Lifebuoy that you toss. And it'll also make it easier for the person that's in the water to find the Lifebuoy. Another item I have on my boat that I usually mount at the stern for racing and extended cruising is a man overboard pole. And the pole simply sits in a bracket, as you can see. About halfway up is a flotation device. The bottom of the pole is very heavy, and above the flotation portion of the pole is a longer extended pole that runs up to a little flag that's capped, and if you throw that pole overboard, the cap will come off and the flag will come out, and it just makes it easier to see where that person is in the water, because you'll have this large pole sticking high above the water. About a year after I bought the boat, I replaced all the lifelines. They used to be the old plastic coated lines, and I could see in areas where the wire underneath was starting to wear a bit. So I replaced them with these non-coated lines, and this way I can very easily assess the condition of the lines. And the last item I can think of to share with you guys is a portable VHF radio. This one's submersible and has a rechargeable battery. It's only 5 watts, but anytime I go out in the dinghy, I put this in my pocket, and I often have this up in the cockpit with me. My larger VHF radio, it's older, it works fine, but it's hardwired to the boat, and the speaker for it is down here. So it's nice to have this as a secondary unit on the boat as well. I hope you all enjoyed the 2 videos on safety equipment extras, and I guess a lot of it's just common sense. These are things that I've just done to my boat and items that I've added to give me a little more peace of mind, but I know there must be some other viewers out there that have done something to their boat or have an item on board to make their sailing experience a safer one. So if you are one of those people, it'd be awesome to hear back from you, and leave a comment below so we can share that knowledge. So stay safe, everyone, and we'll see you on the next video.